The bookstore smelled of old paper and cedar polish, the kind of scent that seemed to remember every secret ever whispered between its shelves. I was just doing Arjun a favor, watching the place while he was out of town. "Just keep the lights on and don't mess up the receipts," he'd said with a grin. Everything was simple for the first 2 days. The quiet hum of ceiling fans, the faint rustle of turning pages, and the comfort of solitude. Then she walked in, Meera, Arjun's sister. She looked the same but different, older, calmer, like someone who had learned how to smile without showing the pain underneath. "I didn't know you were watching the store," she said. "Just for a few days." He didn't trust anyone else with the cash register. She laughed softly. That sound lingered long after she left. She came back 2 evenings later, just as the sun dipped behind the rooftops. The light outside was fading, painting her face in gold and shadow. "Hey," I said, "you're becoming a regular." "Maybe I miss the smell of books," she replied, rubbing her shoulder. "Or maybe I'm just trying to forget the week." "What happened?" "Nothing worth remembering." Her voice cracked slightly. Then, after a pause, she asked, "Do you still give those massages? You used to help Arjun when his back went bad, right?" The air changed. My chest tightened. "Yeah, sometimes." "Could you?" she asked quietly. "It's just my shoulder. It's been killing me." I should have said no, but I didn't. Upstairs, the light was softer. The rain had started, tapping lightly against the window. Meera sat on a wooden chair by the reading nook, her sweater slipping from one shoulder. I started slowly, my fingers pressing into the tense muscles along her neck. She breathed in, then out, eyes closing. The sound was barely there, a sigh, but it carried something heavier than relief. Then she whispered, "You're better than my ex." The words landed between us like a secret neither of us was ready to hold. She turned slightly, meeting my eyes in the reflection of the window. "Sorry," she murmured, but her hand brushed mine, lingering just long enough to feel deliberate. I didn't stop her, and that was how it began. Before we continue, click subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from, because tomorrow I will be giving you another story just as interesting as this one. Now, let us continue. Days bled into nights. Meera would drop by after work, bringing coffee, sometimes nothing at all. We'd talk for hours about her failed relationship, about the loneliness she carried like a shadow, about how both of us were just trying to feel something again. One night, the rain was so heavy that the streets flooded. She stayed. We sat by the window, lights dimmed, silence filling the space between heartbeats. "I feel safe here," she said. "Then stay," I whispered. She did, and for a moment the world outside didn't exist. But love born in silence rarely survives the light. Arjun came back on Monday. I remember because the air that day felt heavier than usual. He hugged me, thanked me, and then looked at Meera longer than he should have, as if searching for something he couldn't quite name. Over the next few days he noticed, he always noticed, the glances that lasted too long, the words that stopped too soon. One evening, when Meera had already gone, he closed the door and said quietly, "There's something between you two, isn't there?" I wanted to deny it, but I couldn't. His jaw tightened. "You're my best friend. She's my sister. You know what this means, don't you?" I nodded, unable to meet his eyes. "She's been hurt enough," he said. "Don't be another scar." Meera came by the next morning. Her eyes were red, her voice small. "He knows." "I know," I said. She nodded, tears slipping silently down her cheeks. Maybe this was never supposed to last. Maybe we just needed each other to remind each other what it feels like to be wanted. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away gently. "Love isn't always the right thing," she said.
Sometimes it's just the most beautiful mistake we ever make." She leaned forward, pressed her forehead against mine, and whispered, "Thank you for making me feel alive again." Then she walked away, and I didn't stop her this time. Months later, I still run the bookstore sometimes when Arjun needs help. The shelves haven't changed, but everything else has. Meera moved to another city. I hear she paints now, canvases filled with rain, books, and faceless figures sitting by windows. Sometimes when I see her work online, it feels like she's still speaking to me through color and silence. I still miss her, not the way lovers miss each other, but the way a wound misses the knife that made it, aching yet somehow grateful. Because some love stories aren't meant to end in togetherness. They're meant to end in truth. And the truth is, she taught me that the hardest kind of love isn't forbidden. It's the kind that makes you a better person by breaking your heart first. Subscribe and drop a heart if you enjoyed the story.